what do you think the response would be if tomorrow they were like, "Hey, life on Mars. There's little plants and little buggers down here under the underground." What do you think the church's response to that is?
Catholic Church?
Yeah,
I think they would say something like, well, God is good and he's created life in this whole universe for us.
that's probably because
Catholic
that's
Church.
probably what they did. Yeah,
Catholic Church,
'Cause
yes.
all that Adam and Eve shit's like Adam wasn't on Mars. How they do that up there?
Well, no, I mean,
the Lord finds a way.
Adam and Eve is just a parable. It's just a story.
Jim, it's all fucking gobbledygook. It's all
No, that's
baloney.
that's what the Catholic Church teaches us.
That's the official stance now.
Yeah. The official stance is it's just a way to explain
It's
creation.
kayfabe.
It's a way to explain creation to everyone. The Catholics don't believe that it's real. That's like some of the crazy Protestant a lot of the I'm trying to think denomination wise where they just believe word for word. I can't think of the fundamentalist denominations off the top of my head, but those are the people that are like, no, they literally were Adam and Eve.
Do you think it would be just a positive response, like, yeah, Lord is great, God is good, or like, oh fuck, sinners, look what you've done?
No, from the Catholic Church would totally be, oh yes, this is the Lord works in mysterious ways, and now we know that this universe, that He's made it all good and great. Now,
what would happen?
The evangelical, hardcore Southern people, they'd be like, "Fuck, we gotta go kill them. Them are devil aliens. You ever play Doom?
Did you ever see that documentary, Doom?" No, you know what would happen if life on Mars, whatever, nothing crazy, but just plants and shit. They would find passages in the Bible and retcon it, but like, see, this right here is actually talking about Mars. We didn't know that at the time, but this right here, this passage,
Oh, right,
it's about alien life.
And then because
I want it to be about that.
Who has read the red sand of the dry ice?
See, he said red sand right there.
Yeah.
He said red sand. That's Mars.
That's Mars. I don't even know anything about Mars. I've never been to Mars.
I don't remember him being so ornery.
He is, because that's the only way I could do is a borderline impression. Even is to
he's got to be at a 9.
Yeah, I've never even been to Mars.
Just irritated fucking Arnold. Oh.
If that's what helps you see the bad guys are in there.
If that's what helps you find the voice.
It's not good. I haven't found
I thought it was really good.
I can't find the voice. Some people, the people that are good can find the voice without doing like the over the top part. Like Will Sasso doing Ric Flair. Like he doesn't just say woo. Like he has the nuances. And when he does,
yeah, but I think
when
even
he does
he
Terry
has
Bollea talking about Hulk Hogan, that's what gets me. No, brother, it wasn't. I wasn't Hulk Hogan, brother. I was talking about that was Terry, brother. That was Terry. Oh no, Hulk Hogan's got an 8-inch penis, brother, not Terry.
Oh man,
Arnold. When's he coming back? Go get a little Arnold come back.
I think he's coming back for a new Terminator
trilogy. That's what Cameron wants to do, right? New Terminator trilogy.
I don't know what this one's called.
Please.
Don't make me Google this. 2019 Terminator 2019. Oh, this is the one with what's her name? The original actress who's very good.
Linda Hamilton.
Yeah. Terminator Dark Fate. Well, that's unfortunate. The trailer is only weeks away, according to Digital Spy. What? So we got that coming out.
Come on.
What?
Full of shit. Trailer's only weeks away.
Weeks away. We're going to see some Linda.
Their site is brown.
We're going to see some weird Arnold. I don't like this still that they have for Terminator Dark Fate. By the way, that's not a great subtitle at all. It's Terminator Dark Fate.
Dark Fate is an upcoming. Okay, so yeah, this is what we're
Oh,
going.
I thought
with.
I was. I
That
thought I
can't
was
ain't
joshing you.
real. Come
That's
on.
real. Look how
This
real and
isn't
bad it
real.
is. Oh, you can hear Jim's heartbreaking in real time, everyone. as he watches this
That's
fucking
like a
awful
stock
picture.
video, like photo,
Nope.
stock video. What?
Yeah, he looks like midlife crisis. Arnold. He's just like, I'm cool. Look at my hair, spiked it.
Just
See, I can't
weeks
do it.
away.
hmm Any big movies coming out in fucking June or July or something to throw this in front of? Big blockbuster.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah. I mean,
Just
we've got
genuinely asking.
we've got Spider-Man Far From Home coming out July
Oh,
5th.
that's well, yeah. Is there anything in June? See, now I'm playing Film Producer Man. June 2019 movies. We've got Aladdin. No, this is definitely going to be in front of Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Okay, I could see that. That's
And
not
it's definitely going to be in front of Dark Phoenix, the X-Men spin-off movie.
bad. That's not a bad choice either.
And it's definitely going to be in front of Despicable Me 3. I think that'll get the kids hyped and get ready for the little yellow dick monsters. See some Arnold.
Wait a minute. What?
Little yellow dick monsters in Despicable Me. The little one-eyed monsters, Jim.
Only one of them is one-eyed. Come on.
Oh.
Have some kids. Only one of them is one-eyed.
Sorry. Not up to speed.
Crack the hip. Let's see if you can hear it on the mic. Oh, did you hear that?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was my hip.
Made
Whoa.
my headphones vibrate. Boom.
Speaking of headphones, I bought some new headphones over the weekend with my birthday money, and I've been hesitating buying these headphones for a long time. But these headphones have been out since 1991. The Sony MDR 7506s. Okay, they come in a really nice package with a little fake silk back thing, and comes with a service manual and a parts list because these are
You gonna break them?
well, because they've been making them for 30 years and you can buy parts and replace them because these are designed to not
Right.
just be thrown in the garbage. And
Oh, they're forever headphones.
yeah, they're like professional. You see them a lot in recording studios for tracking. They're used a lot on like location audio recording stuff for video and all that. And I just been like, nah, I'll keep buying these $50 headphones that suck. I'm not gonna spend $80, $90, $100 on a pair of headphones. Come on. I'll just keep spending $50 on headphones that suck for the rest of my life. And I'm like, you know what? Just do it. And I did it, and they're fantastic.
That's very good. I've been
And like
meaning to get some
$90
myself,
sounds like a
and-
lot for headphones, right? If you're just
not lately.
a schmo Joe Blow. And then there's
How much are AirPods? How much are the ones that don't do anything?
oh god, yeah, you're talking wireless ones and shit. There's all kinds, and the Beats by Dre are ridiculously expensive and sound like
Sure.
shit. Is the
And
worst
those
part?
have been like what 150 plus for years, and they're like $300 goddamn dollars.
Yeah, these sound great, and I'm like, oh yeah, they don't sound perfect, but they sound really really good. And I guess sometimes there are industry standards for a reason. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if you're out there and you're looking for a pair of headphones and you want something that's sort of not super hyped and it's got a nice clear response and you can hear a lot of detail, but it's not like it's not trying to do a thing like super bass extension max.
Bomb.
They're just good. Good headphones.
And what are those called? The MDX 420s?
They are
Because I'm in the
the
market.
Sony MDR 7506s. And what's cool is like they look the same. They've been looking the same for like 20 years. And like I said, they're not perfect, but they're also not, there's
Hey, $80 on Amazon.
$700,
Ooh.
$800 headphones, $1,200 headphones out there,
Yeah, see, it's like a real headphone jack. Like I can't plug that into
It's
my
got both.
computer.
No,
to
no,
play,
this has
to play
both.
Overwatch. Okay,
That's
all
a little
right.
screw-on extension thing. You can plug this into your computer.
Oh,
That's what's
thank
cool about
Christ.
these is like the really high-end sensitive headphones have a higher impedance. So you need like you get to this point where if it's like 600 ohms on these headphones, you can't just plug them into your phone. The phone won't put out enough current to drive them, right? So like, yeah, they're really nice, but you can only wear them at your house when you've got your like $10,000 headphone setup. But these you could still plug into your phone, your computer. They sound good. Real balanced, real
You
detailed.
know, I just need to, because I need to get a new headset for video games and podcasting. But the one I have, it's the Logitech Comfort Chat. It's like $20. It's not bad, but I like that it's got the microphone attached. It's
Yeah,
all one unit.
this doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't have. It's not a one unit, so I'd have to get a mic. And I look forward to that. Being on Overwatch, I look forward to that,
I
Jim.
gotta say,
when we're on,
you,
when we're on Overwatch, and people are like, "Hey, what kind of mic do you have?" And you're like, "Oh, I have the FX 420, blah, blah, blah. And also my headphones are the Sony MDR 750."
they don't care about they can't hear my headphones. Nobody's gonna say shit about my headphones. But your Comfort Chat headset sounds really good. And like
For that price point, oh yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, $20, and we use it on the podcast. We've been using it on the podcast for a while, quite some time, and they sound really good for the price. Like I've heard like $50, $80 like quote unquote gaming headsets. And the mic quality sounds way worse than what you get.
Yeah, and I've gone through a few of them that was doing your thing, where I was, instead of just getting a really good one, I'll just keep buying the same, because I at least knew what I was getting.
Oh, do those like wear out after a while?
They got about a 3-year shelf life. And we've been doing this for 10 fucking years, Jim.
We're looking at about a 3-year. I don't think people, man, I didn't realize it. It's 2019. In October of 2020, so about a year and a half from now, we will have been putting out a weekly podcast every single week for 10 years. That is fucking crazy.
It's pretty good. Yeah, there's been some name changes, some gimmick swaps, but every week we're there for you,
Some
baby.
cast swaps.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We went, what did we have? First it was just you and me, and we're editing things. We try and get guests on. We had Ryan Buds on here, and my
we had Chris
lunatic
Ian.
cousin. Chris Ian was a co-host.
He was
I
a
was building
co-host
to
for
that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Then we had a co-host, Chris Ian, killing birds.
Yeah.
Editor JD stepped in to be a third for a while, and then we split off and did an additional wrestling. We did a lot. We've been doing a lot of shit through the years.
Yeah. I miss the Ian years of Sad Clown Radio.
Yeah,
He wasn't there for Character Work or Wrestling Rabbit Hole, but he was there for Sad Clown Radio, and I think that might be, I wouldn't say the most fun, but it was the most fun because it was just like 2 versus 1.
It was, and I actually
it was
felt
great.
bad about that for a long time. Like I don't like.
He knew
when
what was happening.
Yeah, he did. I didn't like that it was that almost every week, but we didn't sit there and plan that out.
Yeah, we didn't say, "Hey, tell a story about you killing a bird." Like that shit just happened, and then he has to deal with the repercussions.
We didn't
of
say,
that.
"Tell us about your girlfriend that works at the gym" or something. What was that weird story about some chick he used to date, and he goes to the gym she works at, or I don't know. It wasn't not creepy. Let's put it that way. His slam poetry life, he would just sort of fall into these situations, and it totally sounded scripted sometimes, and it never ever was.
It was bad enough for him to say, "Hey, Daly, can you take those videos off of YouTube?" Because trying to get work here.
Trying to be a grown-up.
Trying to adult. Oh man.
Oh yeah,
I did though. I did.
I know you did. You always did us a solid when we'd be like, "Hey, I'm trying to be a cop. Can you take my last name off all the website shit?" That was funny when I was trying to be a cop. That was fun.
It's for a couple of months.
Yeah. Hey, it's longer than that. I'll tell you what.
Push-ups and running time was on point.
My running time's better than it was back then.
That's good.
ran the
I'm doing another 5K this Sunday. Just run with me.
I ran the thing in like 11 minutes. That's like the cutoff for a 20-year-old.
11-minute mile?
No, mile and a half.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I can do that, but at the half, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Well,
when
no.
are we? When's the next run?
For me, I'm doing one at the Odyssey Golf Course this Sunday, May 19th, at like 8 in the morning, and that's fun. They're always very early, and then I get to go to work right after. So life is good. I did it last time. Well, the worst is going to be September 28th, which is a Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. when I do the terrain race at the Joliet Speedway. That's at 7:30. So that's, like a Warrior Dash type thing with obstacles. And then I'm going to work. So I'll take a little simple 5K. There's nothing. I'm just preparing for September at this point.
That sounds terrible. I've tried it a handful of times. I cannot work out before I go to work. And I used when I worked in the afternoon, it wasn't a big deal. But like when you work a normal morning shift, that type of shift, I tried like I'm gonna get up at 5 and go run first, or I'm gonna get up at 5 and do my like push-ups and pull-ups and all that stuff, and like, okay, yeah, but then at about like 10 o'clock, I wish I wasn't alive anymore. I'm like, I'm so tired and hungry and sore and tired and hungry, and I want to go home, and I can't go home for another 6 hours. It's just terrible, and I hate it. Welcome to Not Like This. What's wrong? Where'd you go?
Oh, I muted myself.
Why
I was
did you?
talking that whole time. You know what happened?
And you yelled at me. I guarantee you, your fucking microphone. I knew his shit was gonna break.
Oh, it's just like it's 3 years, man. I'm telling you. No, I took a big swig and the ice cube got in there, and I was about to choke and die. And I said, you know what? Nobody needs to hear that. Let me let me hit the mute button. If you play it back, you could probably hear me inhale. Like,
Oh,
then I
God.
cut it. So yeah, I'm back with this. Yeah, Not Like This. Number 71. We're gonna talk some video games tonight.
I love video games.
I want to do a little top 10 video game movies, and that'll be fun. I'm sure we'll have some repeats on that list. Talk about each one a little bit. But before that, I wanted to talk about the Contra video game and the movie that they should make, and I will make it for them because it's not hard. Out of all the fucking properties, like Sonic the Hedgehog, like that's just hard. Like, what's the story? You can't just take the wacky visuals and make that a movie. They did try that with Super Mario Brothers. It's too strange and cartoony. But Contra, it's a couple guys. It's a couple guys in the forest.
Guys. You got
couple
it.
guys with fucking space guns shooting aliens, and that's Expendables. They already make this movie, so just do it. And when I was looking up like Contra, because I wanted to play an emulator of it, and I found the official description of the game, and the job's done. Let me read the official description. The universe teeters on the brink of total annihilation at the hands of the vile alien warmonger, Red Falcon. See, I didn't even know that the bad guy had a name and that it was so stupid. But it already exists in the lore.
I didn't know that either. I'm gonna be honest.
Earth's only hope rests with you, a courageous member of the Special Forces Elite Commando Squad. That's a lot of words that say the same shit. Your mission: battle deep into the deadly Amazon jungle where the Red Falcon and his galactic henchmen have transformed ancient Mayan temples into awesome monuments dedicated to mass destruction. See, that's some metal shit right there. A multitude of weapons, from rapid-fire machine guns to high-tech lasers, are at your disposal as you sweat blood, fighting past 3D mazes, underground security systems, and tropical forests surrounded by giant waterfalls and alien cannons. This is the ultimate test for the ultimate guerrilla warrior, and if you survive, Earth survives. All right, there's a tagline for the poster. If he survives, Earth survives. So you're already rooting for this guy.
It's a pretty good tagline.
It's very good. If he survives, Earth survives.
You know what's rough about this top 10? I'm pretty sure I literally haven't seen 10 video game movies.
It got pretty slim when I got to like the 9 and 10 spot.
I mean, you know what? I have, but some of them I'm like, I can't even put this at 10, but I'm just going to have to.
Yeah. Something had to get 10. And yeah, because like House of the Dead, it's like I've seen you, I think, but you're not going to touch this list though. You're just not going to fucking touch it. So let's get into that because Contra, like it fucking writes itself. And I just make it. And it might be nostalgic because I actually really like those games. I've always been bad at video games, but I think I beat Contra.
Really?
And yeah, no big deal.
Did it involve a Game Genie?
Let's do this top 10 list.
Are we including animated movies in here? Can we, please?
You can.
Can I?
I didn't.
Okay, I will have to. I literally will have to.
Oh shit. So let's do. Oh, I think we've done this before. I'll do my 10, then you do your 10.
Okay.
Let's do it that way. So my number 10 on the top video game movies. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, 2001. Angelina Jolie. That was one of the.
Never seen it.
Come on.
I swear to
You were
God.
never even forced to see this.
No.
It's never just been on TNT, and you're like, why not? That's crazy to me.
I'm telling. I know. That's
It's the kind of movie that
top 10 list.
That's like one of those movies where even through osmosis, where it's like, yeah, I never really went out of my way to see The Mummy, but I'm pretty sure I've seen The Mummy 800 times.
Osmosis Jones.
Oh, I wish. So yeah, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider is my number 10. They tried, there's tomb raiding in it. It's not the worst. It's not good. She tried, she looks like her a little bit. They give her the ponytail. Right? Yeah. So I definitely wanted to show Tomb Raider some love because while it's not good, it was one of the first big ones. This is 2001.
Big. If you just look at it in terms of numbers, it's the highest grossing for a long time.
That makes sense. I almost choked again. I didn't mute it.
Almost choked again, boy.
So that's my number 10, Jim. What you got?
Shit. It made more.
Oh,
let me just double check. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, it made more than. Where did it go? Assassin's Creed made like $35 million more dollars, not adjusted for inflation.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed kind of ate shit.
My number 10 is Super Mario Brothers.
Oh,
it's pretty bad, but it's got to make my list just for nostalgia reasons. I saw it at the theater when my dog died. It sort of felt like the dog died again later that night when I saw the movie, but it's going up there just for fun bad reasons.
Yeah, fun bad's totally acceptable. So there's this fucking.
I think
that's the day you became a man.
Our number ones are gonna tie. I know that.
Yeah, that's the day you became a man, Jim. You're like your fucking dog died. Your boyhood dog is dead, and then you went to the movies, and your childhood just died as well. When you saw that life's just not fair. That they can't. It's just not gonna happen.
Yes.
Damn. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers. It's on my list. It's not number 10, and it's not number 9 because number 9 for me, for fun bad reasons, Double Dragon.
Ooh.
Double Dragon's on my list.
That's
got to be because there's really not that many movies, but there's some movies on here that I do feel deserve that higher spot. But Double Dragon, they were at least brother friends. I think
one of them actually knew martial arts.
Right.
Mark Dacascos
had Alyssa Milano's little butt cheek clefts, little butt shelf.
Robert Patrick was the bad guy.
Yes.
God, I was so hyped for that because that's 93, so it's like right after I'm big into Terminator 2. I'm like, I love Double Dragon. A Double Dragon movie. G1000's the bad guy.
And honestly, if you go to the Double Dragon wiki, it has the poster, and the poster for Double Dragon, if you didn't know anything about the movie and what would end up happening, if you just saw the poster, this would hype you up. It actually still hypes me up because
Yes.
this is a very nice poster.
Oh, I remember seeing that poster like over and over again. It would be up at the video store when the movie would eventually come out on home video, which was the only time I got to see it. I swear to you, I might have this wrong, but I swear it was like it's coming out Friday, it's coming out Friday, it's coming out Friday, and then like, oh, we'll see it next week, and I'm like, where'd it go? It's gone. I guess I'm waiting for video.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting budget box office tale here. The budget, yeah, just want to guess, just a random guess, 93 budget for this kind of thing.
5 million.
7.8.
Oh, more than
know,
I thought.
Yeah, not double digits. So $8 million budget, box office of 2.3.
Jesus, that's why.
2.3.
Opening weekend hit, and they were like, "No, sorry, Jim, you're not seeing this one."
It's what happened? Did they just not put it in theaters, or?
I swear, I
Like
remember seeing it on the big River Oaks marquee. At the bottom, Double Dragon. I think it was may have been at two. They would do like if it was a 2-word and it was in 2 theaters, it'd be like Double Dragon to like take up 9 and 10.
Yeah.
And then I swear to God, it was like, we'll go see it next weekend. Oh, okay. And then next weekend, I'm just like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, it's not there. Okay. Odd. My number 9.
Oh.
My number 9 is my memory is very. I've only seen it once, but I saw it at the theater. And just because I have so few that I can actually put on here, my number 9 is Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Starring
Steve Buscemi.
What?
Yeah, Steve Buscemi is in it, and Ving Rhames.
Buscemi.
So you've got 2.
Are you fucking trolling me right now?
You've got 2 Pulp Fiction actors in this.
That's the CGI one, right?
Yes, Alec Baldwin, Donald
Steve
Sutherland,
Buscemi. Nobody's in this.
James Woods. Go ahead, click clack away. It's there. I saw it at Marco Movies on Marco Island.
There's no way this has one actor I've heard of, let alone 7. Steve Buscemi, Ving Rhames, Donald Sutherland.
Making this shit up.
I really did. I thought it was my turn.
That's you. You do those things.
Wow.
That's my number 9.
I remember our buddy Mike was a big fan. I think I might have even seen this in theaters. I know I saw it at his place more than once.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big deal for video game nerds that they like were doing this animated Final Fantasy movie, and there's real actors in it. And I remember being really bored, and I can't remember anything in it, but I remember thinking, man, they did a good job with that computer animation. This is 2001, right? So like CG looked like shit, and so as an all full CG movie, I'm like, that looks good. I remember back then thinking like, this looks really good. So I'll give it a number 9 spot for that. Still better than Mario, even though I remember Mario and remember nothing about this movie.
Yeah, see, that's the hard part. I wouldn't have done it that favor.
I gave it for its day. Its animation was good enough to be better than anything from Mario.
Hell of a budget, $137 million.
Yeah, it only lost about half that.
Yeah, fucking hell.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
My number 8 is a movie that I've only seen once, but it was entertaining enough, and they stayed true to the character and the concept enough in that movie. It's Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even know that was a fucking movie. It made $336 million.
Yeah, holy shit. I did not know that. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, I remember this now. Ben Kingsley and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling's in it,
What?
Ian Hansen.
You're the worst. Alfred Molina. Okay, now I'm a little disappointed that it didn't do better.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those movies where the Rotten Tomatoes is like 45%, but the audience is like with it at like a 70 at least. So it's definitely more appreciated and enjoyed by human beings.
Yeah, highest grossing video game movie in its at the time.
Fuck. Oh yeah, that's not gonna last. Not with Detective Pikachu. That's probably gonna crush this, right? That's the new movie. That's pretty much why we're doing
Is
this
that a
list.
video game movie? That's tricky.
That's what I was going to ask. Is Detective Pikachu a game? Like I know Pokemon, I know who Pikachu is. What the fuck is a Detective Pikachu
Well, I
in
mean,
the
like,
game world?
I don't know. And in general, Pokemon starts. Does anyone even really know? Did it start as a card game? Then it was a Nintendo game? Because Nintendo owns a card company. Nintendo started as a gaming card company. Like, who knows what the fuck was first? Nobody was it a cartoon and then a game and then a video game and.
Well, Detective Pikachu was a game published by the Pokemon Company and distributed by Nintendo for the 3DS.
So we're gonna
So
say
it was
that that's a
3DS game.
because it's so specifically Detective Pikachu. We're gonna go ahead and say that's a video game adaptation, straight up, no question.
Oh yeah,
No
oh
question
yeah.
then. Okay.
Well, now we both have to see this movie. I kind of want to see it. It looks cute. I like the idea.
My 4-year-old would love to see this movie.
Oh, there you go. So what's your number 8, Jim?
My number 8 is Double Dragon.
Okay.
We're gonna have some crossovers.
Oh yeah.
But I remember finally being able to rent this after it, me not getting to see it in theaters, and sort of put off originally with like the car runs on garbage. It's the future. But then I want to say like the second half of the movie, once they realize that you guys are double dragons, and you put your Jagons together, and then you become double dragons, and you can fight people really well. The colors of the costumes at the end were like spot on.
Yeah.
And it just, as a little kid, I guess I wasn't little enough really. I was like 9, but as a kid, I was glad to finally get to see it. So Double Dragon's my 8. Above Mario.
That's nuts to me.
Mm.
But yeah, those are the moments that are frustrating.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's not even close. See, Mario's super shitty, right? So this is hard. But I would, if you argued that Mario was a better movie, I would say, yeah, you're probably right. But as far as like having fond memories of it, that's what I'm going off. I'm not ranking this in terms of quality because I can't do that. I would never have the list finished.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like there's a couple that we're gonna agree upon quality wise, but if we didn't
Sure.
just have a reason for some of these, they wouldn't even make my list.
I agree, and that preference and that emotional attachment is a big part of my number 7. A movie that's definitely not on your fucking list. Another Ubisoft movie, Assassin's Creed.
I did not see that movie, but you told me don't see it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad movie. It's well made, all that stuff. It's just not an Assassin's Creed movie. They really took a couple steps removed from the fucking situation and the lore. It's beautifully shot. A lot of talented people behind the lens and everything, but you just didn't make an Assassin's Creed movie, guys. That was where you fucked up with your Assassin's Creed movie. You didn't do it. But it's nuts because I'm a big Assassin's Creed mark. That was that came to me at the right time in my life for me to appreciate it. And I would disappear into those games and just assassinate people in the fucking neck with my dagger hand. Yeah. And it was great. And then the fact that I got to see an Assassin's Creed movie in theaters was just like, that was just very good. Then the movie happened, of course, but it's on the list because it exists, and I'm happy that it exists.
It's not a bad reason to put it on the list, I guess.
Assassin's Creed. It apparently made a lot of money. Once again, $240 million on a $125 million budget. Good for you.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah, we saw the sort of a CGI heavy movie like Final Fantasy in 2001 had a $150 million budget. They had like invented new computers and shit to make that movie. But then you can trim that down these days because of how powerful computers have gotten.
Oh.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, my next pick. And more than one of these are on the list, but this one comes first. It's the only one of this franchise I've seen at the theater.
Oh shit.
Okay. So this is Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Which one is that?
That's the second one.
Second.
I've only seen the first two. That's the second one. And it was like if you're going to pay money and go to a movie and like want to be entertained, it was entertaining enough for me. It was definitely at the point of that we're at in my list. You put a gun to my head and say you got to watch another one of these movies like 2 more times. It would be that before any of the other ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. A lot of action, some
going
horror
with some
elements.
friends. It was at night. It may have been opening night. I don't remember. But I just remember being like pleasantly surprised with the action and the fighting and Mila Jovovich. This was like where she's like realizes she's a badass and can do badass things. So that was like a fun little turn. It's sort of like, when Neo in the Matrix is like, oh shit, I'm the one. Good luck. It wasn't it's the best of the list so far, let's put it that way.
Was it accurate at all? Was it accurate enough to the lore?
I want to say they had
one name drop. It's like, hey, we're in Raccoon
No, I think
City.
like Nemesis was in this. Right?
Oh.
Wasn't that the weird dude that would say stars?
Yeah.
He was in this. But he started out as a good guy. They like turn him into Nemesis, I think. I think that's
that's right. Yeah, I think I remember that now. Yeah, good pick.
Right,
yeah,
what's your number 3?
Number 6 for me. Number 6, Street Fighter.
Ooh.
Right? Now, I'm surprised. A lot of people are going to say, how's this not number 1 or number 2, number 3? Because here's the thing about Street Fighter. It's decent enough to be a good enough movie, but it's also bad good. Because it's got Jean-Claude like, I'm an American, with his French accent, which is what I just did. And Bison, just everything about this movie is hilarious to me.
This
Blanca becomes Blanca. Yeah, and he brings it too because he's Raul Julia. It's great.
Have we? Does he have one of those names we've been saying wrong? Is it like Raul Julia?
I hope not.
Me too. I'm gonna say Raul Julia
because we say like the whitest white people ever. Raul Julia.
Julia Gulia. Why is that funny? I don't know. It's kind of funny. Okay. I wouldn't. I've got reasons for things. That's all I'm gonna say.
Fair enough.
Okay, but I don't want to talk too much about my feelings on that one.
All right. What's your 6th spot?
My number 6, and we shit on this so hard when it was announced, so hard, and because I have children, I have seen it. I'm gonna guess like probably the most out of all of these video game movies. Angry Birds.
Oh, that is not the movie I was expecting you to say.
That's another animated one, but like you couldn't not make that an animated one.
So what is it? Is it good? Is it charming? What's going on?
It's funnier than I thought it was gonna be.
Okay.
It's sort of more adult than I thought it was gonna be. It's got some like movie tropes that I enjoy. Like it has there's a character in this little Angry Bird town called Mighty Eagle that they all look up to. It's like this mythical character that's supposed to have existed once, Mighty Mighty Eagle, and they all love this Mighty Eagle guy. And then he's in it, but he's like fat and shitty at being a hero. And I love those, like, sort of like that Bruce Campbell movie where he's just an actor, but they want him to like save the world, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just an actor though," and he's bad at his job. I like that movie trope, whatever you would call that.
Yeah, those are fun. That movie might actually be on Netflix or Amazon. Is that worth watching? Is this a suggestion at all?
Dude, if you've watched Super Mario Brothers and Double Dragon, it's worth watching. Like it's worth watching. It's I'm not saying you're gonna love it or anything, but it's sort of like, I thought it was gonna be too much of a kids movie, and it's definitely a kids movie. But there's some funny stuff. You got Jason Sudeikis and I think Danny McBride's one of the birds.
All the best voice guys.
I want to say Olaf, the guy who plays Olaf. What's that guy's name?
Josh Gad?
Yeah, he's in it. He's one of the birds.
I've never even seen that fucking movie. And I think I know who does the voice for Olaf. That's messed up.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen Frozen. A shit ton.
Frozen.
Frozen.
That's the name of the movie.
I'm a fro bro, but that's up there for me. That's why I wanted to make sure we included animated movies.
No, I'm glad. I'm walking out with a suggestion.
I can't place who does the bad guy's voice, but he's got like a Cajun accent. And it's entertaining for me. When the pigs come in and like take over, because in the game, the bad guys
so they do it, huh?
It's like it's probably the most accurate of all of these movies too. Like, obviously they infuse a plot in dialogue and stuff, which the game doesn't have. But as far as like the pigs are the bad guys, and the birds fight them, and they fight them by hurling themselves because they can't fly. Like, all of that shit happens. Like, spot on, perfectly.
Excuse me, I'm downloading Angry Birds right now.
Okay, yeah, do it. It's worth it.
I was like, you know what? That was a good game. They had so many. Apparently, I bought it multiple times before, so I can just download it immediately on my phone. Very good. Number 5 for me, Super Mario Brothers.
That's
now,
high.
Jim, it was almost higher. This fucking movie is a legend. This was the first one, and obviously it's a shit show.
But that can bump it right up. I got a shit show that's high on my list.
Like fucking John Leguizamo is Luigi. Like what movie is this? And they did all this weird adoption shit, and you got to give them credit because somebody had to say, you're making this movie as a video game movie. Okay, let me see the video game. I'm playing Mario. How do I make this into a movie? How do I try to merge real life with what I'm seeing on the screen? And they tried with the going back into their dimension type of shit. They tried to tell a fucking story. It didn't work. But even Yoshi was in it. Like the fact that everybody's in there in their worst form is just great. It's just great.
Wasn't the female lead Luigi's love interest? Doesn't she end up being like a dinosaur or some shit at the end? What am I thinking of? She's like a prince. She's really the princess.
She's the princess. You learn that like right at pretty early on, I think.
Yeah, but I thought there was like something else at the end, like some reveal about her. Like she's a dinosaur princess. No,
I don't think so.
Making that shit up. Okay. I think, man. So we're on number 5, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got. So I already said Angry Birds, Spirit Within. We're counting. Final Fantasy counts as animated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have another animated movie. It's not this pick. It's not this pick, but I've got 3 animated movies on here. My number 5 is Street Fighter. I saw
Yeah.
this opening weekend, and I've talked about this on the show a bunch. Whenever there was a movie, and my mom was so good at this. Like my mom's an angel, right? She's a sweetheart, and I love her. She's the best. She knew exactly how to play the movie theater, though. If it was Indiana Jones or Jurassic Park or like, there were definitely shit movies I saw with her, but they were ones she wanted to see, like Clifford, like
Clifford.
Beethoven's Second, whatever. Like, but like Batman, she's there. Batman Returns, she's there. You know, Jurassic Park, she's there. RoboCop 3, why don't you and Dad see that one? Street Fighter, I think Dad's taking you to this one. And Mario was the whole family. But I remember this was Christmas time. I want to say we were on. I saw it over Christmas break, so maybe I didn't see it opening weekend because my machine here tells me that it came out in November or December 23rd. No, December 23rd. Okay, so yeah, I probably saw it opening weekend. And I remember being so goddamn excited to see this movie because I love the Street Fighter franchise, and I have since the second I laid my eyes on it at the bowling alley in Dalton. I've loved all the characters, the artwork. I'd get the instruction book and read all the little story nuggets, and I got the comic book series, the first one that sucked, that died really quickly, and I'd seen another movie before I'd seen this one that is higher on my list. But I went and saw this, and just for being able to see a live action Street Fighter movie at the theater, it gets credit. For being so terrible, like Ryu and Ken, not even close to the main characters.
Yeah.
Nothing like Ryu and Ken in the game.
They were comic relief.
Yeah. E Honda is not a Japanese sumo wrestler. He's a Hawaiian cameraman.
Yeah.
Chun-Li is a news reporter or something.
That's fine.
No, it's not.
Why
She's
not?
a detective. She's like a cop that's busting bison. Like that's
Okay.
easy to make.
That's
her
close though, but that is close. I didn't know the cop
throw
thing.
pillows, a TV news reporter.
I didn't know the cop thing, but yeah, she's still on the case.
But Zangief has a line where they're in the surveillance van, and I think DJ is a bad guy. He's one of the M. Bison's Shadaloo guys. They're in a van watching surveillance of the heroes, like taking down the criminal organization or something. I don't remember specifically what happens, but I remember my dad probably was like contemplating why he had kids at this moment. Like shit's probably going really bad in his head. He's sitting in this theater Christmas weekend watching this fucking abysmal movie that he hates movies in general, has zero attachment to the Street Fighter franchise as like a 40-year-old man in 1994. And I remember him laughing out loud when Zangief is watching the surveillance footage and he goes, "Quick, change the channel." And him laughing at that puts this at number 5 on my list. It can't not, because it is so dumb. You know, the joke, for those of you that haven't seen it, the joke is that he thinks they're just like watching TV. And he's just like, well, turn the channel. I don't want to watch this. But the shit's happening in real time, and he should be stopping it. But it's you know, every once in a while there's something so dumb, but it just hits you in the right moment.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, my dad's laughing at a Street Fighter movie? Like, that's kind of crazy. I'll never forget that. It's number 5.
Yeah, you know, he might have been having a better time than you think, because like this movie.
Because Kylie Minogue is Cammy.
Because Kylie Minogue. He was just like,
Them
awesome.
cheeks, man. Who could we get to
That
fill
was
them
fine.
cheeks? can't get you out of
Jean-Claude
my
Van Damme,
head.
apparently.
Yeah, he was the
'Cause it
worst
was
choice
banging.
for Guile. But when you're watching the trailers building up to this, you're like, oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme's a badass, and he's in all these cool martial arts movies, and he's playing Guile. He's in the Street Fighter movie. Are you kidding me? This is gonna
I,
be
s-
off the fucking chain.
I still get hyped, and every couple of years, for whatever reason, a YouTube rabbit hole, I'll find myself watching this clip from this movie, and it's where Jean-Claude Van Damme, as Colonel Giles, given that big pre-war speech, that big before we get into the boats, I'm gonna hype the boys up, and it's a good little speech. Like I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. You're right. As far
Yeah.
as like pump up movie speeches go, it's surprisingly good for how
Yeah,
shit this movie is.
yeah. It's almost out of place. Man, yeah. So Street Fighter, definitely. Number 4 for me, Silent Hill. Now, I never played those games, at least not to completion. But this is another movie that I think nails it, at least with the atmosphere and the tone. You know, they attempt the spooky imagery, and it's got fucking Sean Bean in it, so it's good. It's good. It's a
Oh
good
shit,
little
it does.
movie. Yeah.
He
So
when
what?
he's in a movie and he doesn't look like a fantasy character, I often
Right?
forget that he's there. It's like
Yeah.
he's two different actors.
Like in Goldeneye, it freaks me out
Yep.
too.
He's 006.
Yeah. So did you see the Silent Hill movie?
No.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't see it.
It's another one where just because I own a television, I came across Silent Hill and I said, I never played those games. They're too scary for me. There's too much fog. I don't like the fog.
Turn back.
And yeah, it's a decent little movie.
Yeah,
So that's my number 4.
I didn't see it. I didn't. And these movies that I haven't seen, I didn't see them because I'm some sort of movie snob or like, I'm not gonna go see that. It just didn't happen. I mean, I saw Resident Evil Apocalypse at the theater, so that's not the reason why. It's just
But no, I know. But once again, the fact that this movie
Uh,
came out in 2006 and you never crossed paths with it, and it's in the video game and horror, subgenres. The fact that you never crossed paths with it just boggles me.
I at that point I didn't have a ton of going to the show time. I was working working weekends every weekend. Like unless it was a comic book movie where I would like take off work to go see it at midnight type thing. I didn't really see a lot of movies in that era. And then didn't have cable. If it was a movie channel type movie and it wasn't on cable before like 2003, I wasn't going to see it on HBO and shit. I didn't have that ever again.
Ever again.
So I don't blame you. So this is number 4, right?
Number 4.
This is getting hard. This is harder for me than I thought. Number 4 is the first Resident Evil.
Oh, breaking it
I
down.
saw this on. I think I got it from Star Video. And I remember I didn't really play the Resident Evil games, but it's one of those games where your friend is playing it, Mike is playing it, or I'd be at your house and you're playing 3. So I'm watching it, I've seen a lot of it, and with a story-driven game like that, if I see too much of it, I don't want to play it because I feel like I already know the story, whatnot. But I remember watching Mike play Resident Evil 2 and thinking like atmosphere-wise, story-wise, it's really cool. The movie felt like they're really forcing shit. Like it didn't really didn't line up exactly with the game. Felt like they just sort of made up a bunch of shit and then worked Resident Evil in backwards. But I thought it was entertaining. I liked it. It's a zombie movie, sort of. There's zombie dogs in it.
Yeah, it's like they took all the lore and mythology, Raccoon City and T-Virus. They took all these things. They strapped a notepad to some darts, and they just threw it at the wall and said, "Raccoon City," boom, boom, boom. Like all the elements are there, but not in a really cohesive way or satisfying way. I always thought that when they made the Resident Evil movie, that the first one would be good and accurate to the movie or the game, and then it would kind of fall apart because the games kind of, go off the fucking rails. But no, from Jump Street, it was just kind of a bit of a swing and a miss, but entertaining though, just entertaining.
I'll say this. There were at least I want to say there were 3 games worth out by this point. 1, 2, and 3. I don't think 4 was out yet. I don't feel like wikiing that deep. But the first Resident Evil movie came out in March of 2002. I don't think 4 was out yet, right? Because is that a PS3 game?
Maybe.
So, now I'm doing the thing I said I wasn't going to do. Yeah, it didn't come out till 2005. What? 5? This can't be right.
Resident Evil Apocalypse came out in 2004. The first one came out in 2002.
Yeah, I'm talking the first movie, but I want to say there were 3 games out.
Yeah, who knows? They even had some
PlayStation 2. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 didn't come out till 2005, the game. So yeah, but still 3 games worth to cram in a movie. They're just gonna pick like Mario, Super Mario Brothers. Yoshi's in it. Like they didn't just like, well, what happens in the first game? We'll start there.
Yeah, but they didn't have to. It's like they didn't have what's the Stars guy, Nemesis. They didn't have him in the first one.
No, they waited till 2.
So thank God for that, at least. But what's weird is, I mean, obviously these movies are their own kind of thing. They're just like this money-making device for this director and actress to fucking make a living forever. But like the first game, it's pretty slow, and we all remember the mechanics, and it was fucking slow and terrible. And you're not getting any of that in the movie. It's
you can't make a movie slow and terrible.
Yeah, you
can.
They weren't interested in making this slow, suspenseful type of movie.
Right, I gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some controversy on my list.
So my number 3, or is it my turn here?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, my number 3. This will be a quick one, because I cheated, and it's the Resident Evil movies. Even though I just like really bashed the shit out of it. They've been around forever. They got close enough with a lot of that shit. They try to use the fiction as much as possible, and they got the hot actress. Like they've earned the spot just due to longevity alone.
Yeah, they have some. There's some atmosphere to them, I guess. Like they got a feel.
You're all gonna die down here. Was that the first one? You're all gonna die down here.
Yeah, I think that's the first one. Yeah, pretty sure it is.
Pieces of shit, you're gonna die.
So. If I get your ruling and you rule against me, I won't have 10 movies on my list. Okay. But if a movie it's a feature-length movie that wasn't released theatrically.
Oh boy,
does it count?
It'll count, but what's fucking sci-fi
We're not
TV
there yet.
movie is this shit?
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. My number 3 is this is when you just go back and look at my list, it's going to be really stupid. My number 3, this one was released theatrically, by the way. I didn't see it in the theaters. Is Street Fighter 2, the animated movie.
What?
Yes.
What is this?
$16 million at the box office. It came out 3 or 4 months before Street Fighter, the live action movie. But it was like, as a 10-year-old kid, this is what you wanted to see. Chun-Li's boobies are in it. There's blood.
What?
The characters are like pretty accurate storyline wise to what they are, It was Japanese. It said it was released here in theaters. I don't remember that shit.
But yeah, maybe not here.
It was it was like what you wanted that live action movie to be, like they didn't feel there was no need to let's make Chun-Li a news reporter. Like why? There's so many things in the live action movie. We're like, why are you doing this? This is a movie already. Basically, this is blood sport. All you gotta do is change the characters, and they did none of that. But the animated movie was really cool, especially for its day. You know, it looked awesome.
So this sounds like a suggestion.
I
to
would,
me.
I would, if you like Street
If it-
Fighter enough, like you know the characters, I would check it out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty bloody, pretty violent.
That's awesome. It's on YouTube, by the way, folks.
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. And then I realized, well, you'll see when we're done.
Okay, yeah, Street Fighter 2 little animated movie. It looks good. I like what I'm seeing with the poster and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna check
In
that
my
out on YouTube.
defense,
Yeah,
there's not a lot of video game movies to pick from
I know.
that
I
are worth
know.
seeing. So go ahead.
But now we're at the bottom, the last two, the top two here. So my number 2 pick, I catch some grief, but it's Rampage, starring Dwayne the Rock Johnson. This movie just came out the other year. It sticks close enough to the lore to be tolerated, and it's just a charming little fun action movie with The Rock and a fucking big gorilla, and they do sign language and swear at each other. And he's like, "Don't call me an asshole." It's like, this movie's great.
The gorilla gets big, right? Is there a
Yeah.
big lizard?
Yeah.
Is there a big werewolf? Because they don't reveal.
There's
that.
a big regular wolf.
Okay.
But
So,
here's and I got to spoil this part
that's fine.
because it's fucking awesome, and I wanted to stand up and applaud this fucking movie for doing it. And it's Rampage. But so the animals start getting big, right? And the company behind it's like, we got to get a group of mercenaries to fucking get this, get fucking Scarface. So they get Scarface, and this guy comes in. He's the best of the best, and they get in the chopper and they go to the fucking forest to find the wolf, and the wolf just fucking kills them.
Just mauls them.
Just kills all of them. And of course, Scarface gets it last, and you think, okay, maybe he's gonna get away here, because the Rock's got to beat him.
Yeah. And
No,
then
the wolf
report
just
back.
Yeah, the wolf just fucking eats him. And it's awesome. Like, that's not how traditional storytelling would want you to go about that, but it puts that wolf over real good.
Yeah, gets him over.
Fucking hell.
You got over,
yeah.
bro.
Rampage. And this is definitely a movie that's going to cross everyone's path at some point on TBS or on Netflix. Give it a go. It's a charming little flick.
So for the third time on my list, Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. I have it downloaded from the PlayStation Network. It's like a 90-minute movie, but it was originally released like in episodes, right? But it's edited together as a 90-minute movie. It's fantastic. If you like Street Fighter, it's fantastic. Now, by itself, as a movie, is it fantastic? No, but it's got like a $40 budget. And for the budget they have, it was really good. And the martial arts is good, and the character stories make sense for once. And so the Street Fighter series, there's the Street Fighter Alpha games are like prequels to the Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 2 Turbo and all that. So this starts there. So it takes place in the 80s. Ryu and Ken are still training. They're still learning how to throw fireballs. It's like them learning how to be the characters we know in the game. And Akuma is in it, and he's really cool, and they like tell his backstory. And if you're a fan of the lore of Street Fighter, it's so fun to watch. And it's funny in spots and sort of like light in spots where it needs to be. Like there's a part where Gouken is their master. He like brings a Nintendo in, and they're playing like Contra or something on Nintendo. And then like at the end of the movie, like Ken's dad's a boxer, and he's showing them like these like some boxing moves, because they throw like hooks and stuff in the game, like things you don't do in karate. Like why would they learn that?
Yeah. Like,
Um,
why would he do that John Wayne punch?
and it's just cool. And I never saw the sequel because Capcom was like, great, tie this in with Street Fighter 5. And like, but this is 1986. Like, just do it because we're Capcom.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the budget was $40.
It does.
It looks like, like one of those little YouTube series that would happen back in the day. That's probably what this is. I found it on Daily Motion and in chunks, episodes like you said. But as I was skimming around, I saw this, so I'm posting that in Discord for you. And I said, "What's Jim watching?" You know, because it's just fucking Ken laying by a
Yeah.
lake with his shirt off, like,
He's
"Hey,
shredded too.
hey."
He's shredded. Then this scene here where they train over here, right? And you could see that Ken still got the long ponytail and Ryu still got the white headband and the red gloves. They're youthful, right? There's a Japanese like fisherman that lives out on the lake and makes fun of Ken all the time and like calls him a pansy and like a sissy boy and all. It's all in Japanese. That part, but they don't. There are subtitles, so if you like subtitles, that sucks for you. But it makes sense, and Ken speaks Japanese in the game. I mean, most of it's in English, right? But like when they flash back to Goki before he becomes Akuma, when they do all that, like that's all in Japanese, and like the Japanese guy, the villager guy, yells at Ken in Japanese, and those parts are entertaining. But they sort of had no money, but just this guy really loves Street Fighter, and it turned out really well, I think.
Made it happen.
Made it happen.
See, now I'm curious. Assassin's Fist. I'm just curious if this guy went on to do anything.
Probably whatever the one after this was.
His name is Joey Ansa. Come on, rooting for you, Joey. Yeah, he did a bunch of video game shit. Boom, boom, boom. And he was in the Bourne Ultimatum, which is good. And he was in Batman Begins as a League of Shadows member. So yeah, he stuck around. Big fan. Big martial arts fan. Makes sense.
Well,
Cool.
Batman
Yeah, I'll check
Begins
this out.
predates this by like five or 6 years, probably. Probably even more. This is not that old.
Oh shit, you're right. That one's 2005. I was essentially looking at this backwards because I was expecting that to be, because it looks older too. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, he's like a stunt guy, does some action shit, and he's just like, I'm gonna do it. I've made the connection, so I'm gonna make my Street Fighter movie.
I made that Tommy Wiseau money. I can do it. Where'd you get it? I don't know. Neither does he.
So, all right, yeah, I'm gonna add that one to list. Street Fighter Assassins.
It's worth seeing, and I know it's technically didn't have a theatrical release. Maybe it wouldn't count, but
it's hard to. Pull
I needed some enjoyable movies at the top.
Yeah. So I'll check that out. Number one, here we go. I assume it's the same for both of us.
It's got to be, and if it is, we can just do this at once.
Yeah, here we go. Let's talk about number one. It's the best video game movie adaptation to date. Saving Detective Pikachu. It's Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
It's a fighting game, so they made a fighting movie.
Yeah, and in the game, there's a tournament where you fight each other. And they do that in the movie instead of not doing that for no reason.
Like Street Fighter, if they just would have done this, Street Fighter could have been amazing. Obviously, with Raul Julia, it would have been a little bit different because I don't know if he was sick, but he's definitely not an action star. They got him for his acting, not to do some fucking fight scenes. But Street Fighter in general, if they would have gone the Mortal Kombat route, that could have been real nice.
Now Raiden, who I think would be like Raiden. I don't know.
All right.
I'm going to say Raiden though, because that's what they say in the movie and whatever. Also in the game, the plot is that he's this god who can't interfere. So he gets the good guys together and they're fighting in Outworld. Essentially in this tournament. That's basically what the plot is. unless they just retcon that for Mortal Kombat 2. But I want to say Mortal Kombat 2 was out before this movie was. So it's like pretty close storyline wise, and then like what they can do ability wise is pretty close. Johnny Cage is a
Well,
movie star. Sonya's a whatever she is, FBI
journalist. She's an yeah. She's a oh.
It all jives, you know.
Yep, Kano's in there. And as a kid, you're only excited about two characters, and that's Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Yes,
And they nail it for the most part. And then you even get a little bit of Reptile, which
yeah, you
thanks
do.
for that. Thanks for that. Big
Yep.
fan of that. Reptile was my guy. So that was awesome. And if that wasn't enough, they nail Goro, the four-armed fucking monster,
They do.
who looks amazing.
And Shang Tsung, that role was cast really well. He's young Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat 2, basically. But like I said, that game was out by the time this movie came out, so they did the Resident Evil. We're just gonna pick from all the games, kind of. Yeah, Goro, the sets, like the environment they're fighting in looks like the game environment. Like it all just, the special effects don't hold up. There's a lot of CG from back then that doesn't hold up anymore. But at the time, I remember thinking that looks really cool. Scorpion's harpoon is like really like this weird snake thing that comes out of his hand.
Yeah,
It doesn't look good now, but back then, I remember them showing like a 2-minute scene on TV, like building up to the movie coming out.
Inside Edition.
Yeah,
it was like, yep, that's how
when
it
he's
would
in
be.
like the bamboo forest or whatever, looking for Sub-Zero. It was like that little scene, and I was like, God damn, this movie's gonna be awesome.
Why the fuck did Inside Edition have so many fucking exclusive clips?
Extra. Maybe it was extra.
They would always have like the breaking news in the first clip of like Batman and Robin. It's like, see what Chris O'Donnell looks like as Robin. You're like, I can't wait to see this. Man, simpler times.
But how many times do you think they're like, are you sure you want millions of people to see this before it comes out?
People watch this. But yeah, Mortal Kombat, it's got Mrs. Vaughn from fucking Billy Madison as Sonya Blade.
Whitney.
Which is hilarious.
Whitney from Last Action Hero.
Yeah. It's just the best. And this is the movie when you say that you're going to do an adaptation of the game, this is the movie you watch. It's Mortal Kombat because they just copy and pasted. That's all you have to do most of the time. Now with Super Mario Brothers, you can't copy and paste that. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but this movie does.
Certain movies you can.
And you know what? Like Street Fighter gave you a skeleton to work with. Like it's a fighting tournament with these fighters from all over the world, but there's this criminal organization behind it. Like, oh, that seems pretty. There's probably been. Oh, you mean Enter the Dragon? Like, so we just got to redo that with these new characters. Yeah. Instead, we're gonna have Jean-Claude Van Damme be an army soldier, and bring a reporter in there with a boat, with a gun on the boat, and like, what are you doing? We had this all laid out for you. Yeah, Mortal Kombat knocked it out of the park, I thought, for what it needed to be.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 and the sequels, not so much.
Never saw them.
That's probably for the best. By the way, the budget of Mortal Kombat, real quick, 18 million, box office 122.
Jesus Christ,
go get
mopping up. I remember seeing the first like couple minutes of the show after Nitro on Mondays, and like falling asleep. There was a Mortal Kombat show on TNT.
Yeah. God damn. The jump off of quality was staggering. Jesus Christ.
What was Annihilation's budget? Like 12 million, and it made like 14? No, I bet it still made like 80 million.
There's no way Annihilation made money. Let's do it. Let's go. There's no way. All right, the budget, 30 million. So was it twice as much as the fucking first movie,
Yep.
even though it looks worse. So 30 million budget, box office 51. So it did it.
It made
It
money.
made money.
Jesus
That
Christ.
sickens me.
It should. It should sicken you.
That's terrible. So yeah, there's our list. It's tough sledding when there's only so much to choose from. But honestly, I'm happy that I'm gonna walk out of this episode with a couple
I
suggestions.
got 3 fucking Street Fighter movies in a top 10 list. Like, this was slim pickings for me. I had to reach for one that didn't even come out at the theaters.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Super Mario Brothers at like what the 10 spot for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Below
Not no
Double
love.
Dragon.
Yeah. What? I'm sorry, but what was the movie that you saw when your dog when your dog died? Was it Super Mario Brothers?
Yes.
That explains it. You're like, fuck this movie. You're never gonna fucking yeah. You're never gonna have anything nice to say. A fond memory of that movie.
You're
It's
on
just,
the
it's
you're on the
cursed.
list
It's
because
fucked.
Mario's a goddamn legend. That's it.
Yeah, that is it.
You killed. It felt like my dog died twice. It felt like my first dog I ever had died. I went to the movies. The dog came back to life and died again in front of me.
Oh, fuck.
And for that, it makes number 10.
Yeah.
That's an impressive feat for a movie to pull off. Long ass episode, longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I thought we'd breeze through it, to be honest. So yeah, Detective Pikachu's out. That's probably gonna crack top 5 because that's a real movie with real filmmakers behind it.
It's going to be
And,
hard not to.
So this list will be adjusted in the future, I'm sure. And maybe will this be the one? We say it every time. Will this be the one that starts the video game movie fire? I don't think so because nobody knows it was a fucking game.
Yeah, it's a good point.
It's just Pokemon plus Ryan Reynolds, and they
Did you-
said, "Let's make."
Did you
the
see
money.
the meme of Detective Pikachu and then Nick Fury at the bottom? It's like,
No.
I'm here to tell you about the Smash Brothers initiative.
That's adorable.
Yep.
That is cute. Plugs. Just follow me on Instagram at Dale Zawada, posting some fun stuff on that platform.
Couple weeks coming up, guys. You can see Dad Bod live 2 nights. Count them, 2 nights in a row. Back to back. If you're feeling froggy, back to back. May 24th, Friday, May 24th. You can see us at 350 Brewing at Tinley Park. Saturday, May 25th, back at Beer Geeks in Highland. I can't wait to get back there. Check those 2 shows out.
So did this happen intentionally? Like, let's do back-to-back shows, or were they supposed to be spread out?
No, it's just people are clamoring for
Just gotta pack it in.
artists those weekends. So
Just gotta pack it in.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to one of them. We'll see if depending on how the first one goes, we'll judge how the second one. An option for my liver.
Okay.
So this is episode number 71. Thanks for listening. I'm the Red Falcon.
And I'm changing the channel.